Yes, I've gone and done it again. I think it was Britney Spears that did a song called Oopsie Doopsie, I Muffed It Up Again, or something like that. Yes, I've bought myself another motorbike, but it's nothing to worry about at this very moment because it is not going to be a current project. What I wouldn't mind doing is actually seeing if it starts, because the previous owner had some trouble starting it, some electrical issues. Apart from that, the engine is sound, but he had some electrical issues. And it was going so cheap. That is why I decided to buy it. This is, of course, a BMW K100, the legendary the legendary flying brick. It's a beast, it is a beast. And you know, as much as people mock it and say it's an ugly bike or an ugly engine, I actually find it quite nice, quite beautiful. I like the fact that it is pretty much such a square engine. It is literally a car engine that's been slapped in a motorbike. There is no other way of explaining it. It's as heavy as a car engine. It's as big as a car engine. It's even built like a car engine. It's got a separate alternator, similar to a car alternator. Even the wiring diagram reminds me of looking at a car wiring diagram. Now this is going to be a project for 2021. Nothing to start on soon. I've got enough work as it is. I have got the Mongrel that I have started, and I've also got the Ducati Monster that needs to be completed by May 2021. I am hoping, fingers crossed, that there is a bike shed show this coming year, 2021, and I'm hoping that the Ducati will be shown there. I'm not saying it's going to take me that long, but that is my ultimate deadline. It's picking up pace now, and we are waiting for the frame to come back from the powder coaters, which is why I'm doing an episode on this, because I've got nothing of real interest to show you this week, apart from this. So as I said, it's going to be a project for 2021. If you haven't already seen my video on what I would do if I was to ever get my hands on a K100, it's down in the description. Check out the video there, you can see what the bike's going to look like. Of course, it's not going to look anything like this, but that's the challenge. There's a few issues that bother me with the K100, similar issues to what I had with the CX500, which is that frame at the rear. So you may have seen that the rear frame on a K100 angles back a heck of a lot. And whereas you've got the tank like that, the frame just kind of dips right back. I've seen different examples to rectify that, of people putting in another frame across it, just putting the seat across it so there's this big void there, and even other people having seats that shape around to the frame. That's all fine. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, and this is the nice thing with building bikes and anything design or art based. It's always subjective whether you like something or not. For me personally, I would like to see that rear frame go up. Not to say that any other build out there isn't right, but it's each their own and each to their preference. Now this has got its challenge with electrics because it's running all these electrics. That's going to be another challenge of what do I do? Do I plug in an M unit? Do I leave it as is? Of course, M units have their advantages, so that could be another thing. Most importantly is the styling. I'm going to be again playing around with 3D printing, coming up with different shapes, different styling mechanisms, and this bike is going to look absolutely awesome. I've already decided on the paint scheme. It's going to be black and orange, so I'm seriously looking forward to building this. Other than that, let's have a look around it. So I guess it's time for a closer look. Here it is. This is, like I said, a BMW K100, which has pretty much near enough 1000cc engine in it. I think it's 978 or 98 something, or nearly 1000cc, which is probably going to be the biggest engine in my collection here. As you can see, it has a massive fairing to it. It's in desperate need of a bit of love. Keys are missing. That is one thing. So the previous owner tried to take the key out, took the ignition barrel out, and left with this. So what we can do is actually turn it on and off with the old ignition barrel, or we can just simply jam a flathead screwdriver in there and just turn it. So that works now. It hasn't been ridden since 1998, I don't think. Indicators were up there at one stage. These are the wires for the indicators. Do you know what, actually, the fairing's quite cool on these. I quite like them. It's all one piece of plexiglass there. Neat little headlight in there. It's a little bit dusty because it has been in my workshop all this time. You may have seen in the back of the videos, so we've had all sorts of sanding and everything going on, so it has been collecting a bit of dust that way. The seat has seen better days. I mean, it's what happens if you've got this hard metal edge here. That seat, this leather. Is it leather? No, it's not. It's just plastic. is going to eventually rip. But it's a really big bike. It's a decent sized bike. That's the back end. I absolutely love these square lines on it. I wonder if there's a way that I can incorporate this rear lens, or if there's anything I can do to actually keep that as part of the new bike. That would be awesome, because again, it's that whole 80s look. It's square, it's angular, it's very 80s. Love that little K100 emblem there. It is a 1980s bike and it's worn. You can see here where water's gone under this badge here. So this is a strange thing about the K engine, is that both sides look different. This is possibly considered the uglier side of the engine. Everybody wants to see the other side, which is the more design side. Why they didn't just do the engine looking the same on both sides? I know that one side is where the pistons are at and that's where your head is, but ultimately they could have really made both sides look the same aesthetically, but I don't know why they didn't. This has got some crash bars on here, which they won't be staying. I mean, this back section won't be staying either. Let's see if there's anything inside the seat. Yeah, things. A little, oh. Okay, that looks like someone's insurance documents. I'm not gonna go into there. There's a tiny, oh, what have we got in here? Just another little storage cupboard. That's pretty neat. The frame is a little bit on the rusty side. That is one thing I do need to look at, is how deep the frame goes. I mean, to me looking at it now, it's surface rust, but I've known frames in the past to have what appears to be surface rust, and in actual fact, they're rusting from the inside out. And then when you start putting any kind of sandblasting or anything abrasive on it, it just blasts a hole straight through. So that is one thing to kind of keep an eye on. The rest of the frame looks okay. It's just this section here. I have gone over it. So the things I will do in this bike, let's pop this out. Probably sort out this rear end here. Like I said, I don't like the way that these drop back. So I might even lift that up. Possibly then need a longer shock, or mount it in a similar way in a similar location, but ultimately have the top frame going that way and then another piece, another cross piece down from there that welds into this section here. Brembo brakes, front and rear, so that's a good sign. Ultimately, this bike just needs some love, some attention. See, the indicator on that side has fallen off. Does that pop back in? It kind of wants to stay in. I mean, there's a couple of neat little features on this. Have you seen this here? This is a little lever that you pull out, and then that assists you to put it on its sensor stand, so that lets you lift it up there and pop it on its sensor stand. It has got a sensor stand, a maintenance stand. It has also got a side stand, and it's got a pretty decent looking exhaust. I'm not going to keep that exhaust, but it's a pretty decent looking exhaust. I'm not going to use pods on this. I'm going to use the original airbox that sits there to save myself grief and issues, and to be honest, it's out of the way. There's no point doing an airbox deletion on this bike unless you want that space under there, but to be honest, I don't. Might even carbon fiber skin that just to make it look a little bit prettier, but it's not going to be visible. So to save myself all the hassle and troubles of having to sort out the injectors and everything to work with pods, just easy life. Stick to this as it is. So like I said, the last person who owned this tried to get it going. They couldn't get it going. It hasn't started since 1998. Electrical issues. So that's why I got the bike so cheap. I don't think there's anything that I need to worry about. These electrical things can easily be sorted, rectified, and we are going to be kind of addressing the electrical system on this. I don't know yet whether I'm going to use a Moto Gadget M unit on this bike, because I quite like the look of Rebel Moto's cluster switches that they've got, the ones that light up, and they only work with something like an M unit. Or if you use a system of relays, and then you're actually ending up spending the same amount of money on a set of relays than you are on the Moto Gadget system. So I might just do that. So I guess that's where I'm going to leave this video now. I'm just introducing the bike. I'm not going to attempt to do anything with it today. I just wanted to show it to you. I know that it's been in the back of a lot of videos and people are wondering what's going on with it. Why is it there? Yeah, it's a project for 2021. It's going to be interesting. Part of me wants to see if it will start. Part of me wants me to just put a blanket over it and forget about it until next year. I'll see how much patience I have for the next video. I might make another video on trying to get the bike started. Who knows? That is it. The new K100 project starting 2021. When in 2021 I don't know. It probably won't be the first week of January because it is freezing here in January, but exciting things to come, and there's more news and announcements to come with this channel again to come this month. So this month's going to be a busy month to do the news and announcements, which is good. It means more content for you guys. If you want to stay updated with all the other projects, so that is the Mongrel, that is the Micro 490, and also the Ducati Monster, which is kind of heading at a good pace. Subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and also visit footballindustries.com if you want to sport your own BMW K100 engine t-shirt. If you want to show your support on the channel, head over there. There's different tees with different engines on, so it might even be your engine or your bike project that you're working on. So until next week's video, who knows what that will be. See ya.